Do you love what you do and who you do it with? It shows, whether you know it or not. Potential talent or promise fulfilled. That's our topic on this episode of the Educators Among Us podcast.
Welcome to the Educators Among Us podcast, where we share motivational messages and inspiring stories for and about educators. Your host, Scott Barron, is author of the critically acclaimed book, Love 'Em and Lead 'Em, and provides powerful insights and wisdom for those who heed the call to teach, coach, lead, and serve at all levels of education.
This is Scott Barron, and I'm honored to be your host for the Educators Among Us podcast. We love educators. We love being a part of their lives. I was speaking at a conference this week, and I had a couple of people come over. It was an educator conference down in Orlando, and we were able to share some insights. And a couple came over and said, "Hey, I read your weekly encouragements, and they're such a blessing, and we're so grateful for that. And I don't know how you come up with all those insights and things, but thank you so much. You have no idea what a difference that makes in my life as well as in our whole team. We read them every week. We did a book study on Love 'Em and Lead 'Em, and we continue to use a lot of your messages. And so just thank you." And I was like, wow. My pleasure. I mean, we love doing this and love speaking into the lives of educators, and so it's quite an honor. And so we continue to do this work, trying to be sensitive to what's happening in the lives of educators in different cycles, both in the United States as well as even around the world, because we do have a lot of folks that use our messages for encouragement for themselves as well as for their teams, even in Africa and in Europe and South America and other places. And so what an honor it is to be a part of your journey, because you make a difference, and we want to be a part of that journey with you. We want to be that best friend to educators as they navigate all the challenges and the opportunities, and especially as we move into this, what we're seeing is a whole new era of education, where things they're changing, and they're challenging us to rethink things. And as we shared this week at one of the conferences, there is a serenity that's available if you know what to focus on, if you remember who you are, if you sustain your perspective. It changes everything, right? Because it's what you see that makes the difference of what you become and what you do. And that's what we are even focused on today is understanding the importance of sustaining our perspective when it comes to how we invest our talent, right? This has been a busy summer, this summer of 2026. It's already the middle of July, and boy, we've got it's been a sporting summer, I would say, right? We've got all baseball going on, and with Major League Baseball, and then Wimbledon is going on as well, and it was watching some of that yesterday and some of the upsets, and then the World Cup, of course, has dominated in North America. It's been very exciting to see what's happening there, and then of course a lot of the sports drafts are going on for been going on for baseball and hockey and other things, and so just it's been a really interesting time, and especially watching the drafts, right? If you've watched those at all, because some people get way into the drafts that I'm not quite there, but if you watch the way that the people examine talent, they try to find not only talented people to join their team, athletes, but people who also bring a commitment, an attitude, right? A willingness to invest in the disciplines, not just, there's lots of talent, right? That's an interesting thing that Stephen King said. Talent is cheaper than table salt, he said, right? It's cheaper than salt. What separates the talented individual from the successful one? It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of hard work. And frankly, some people are willing to do that work, and some aren't. And that's watching the World Cup has been really intriguing, because it's kind of reminded me of teaching middle school, with all the overly dramatic injuries and the shrewd bullying and the complaining about the rules. It just goes on and on. You're like, what are you thinking? I was yelling at the TV the other day, and it's just like, what, But every team has very talented athletes. I mean, extraordinarily talented people, but some are more accomplished than others. What's the difference? Well, speaking of one notable player, I listened to a commentator who said brutally described him as having magic in those boots if and when he chooses to apply himself. Ouch. Right? Yikes. I mean, that is probably the worst description I would ever have someone say about me, is that I have this talent, but I don't have the discipline to show up every day and actually use it. You see people like that even in your work as an educator. You see people who, man, they've got incredible talent, but I don't know what version of them is going to show up today. Or uh, sometimes what shows up is just not prepared. It's unprofessional. It's right. And so that becomes a pretty stinging rebuke. The idea of having the magic in our boots, but we don't choose to apply ourselves. That's not a good way for us to describe anybody, but especially educators, because of the power of our influence and our words, right? Underinvested talent is a sad, sad state because it flows from a lack of love and, quite frankly, just respect, right? Respect for ourselves, respect for what we do, respect for our impact, respect for the profession, right? Hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. It's a great line from Kevin Durant. Hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. That's true. I mean, we all see it. We see it, again, in athletes. We see it in colleagues. We see it in students, right? It takes hard work to turn talent into something that's actually valuable. Educators, we prize intellect and credentials, but those assets rapidly degrade in value when a person lacks energized effort, when they don't have committed engagement, and they just don't understand or have embraced divine wisdom. Those are three very vital accelerators of talent, right? For example, energized effort, it transforms passive potential into predictable patterns of progress, right? Energized effort, bringing that energy every day, enables us to not only improve us as we find better ways to do what we do, and we're able to overcome a lot of the points of friction because we bring that energy and that momentum. We also energize other people. We kind of serve as that, that boost, that maximizer, that transformer, and that makes a huge difference when you're part of a team. Right? You bring that, and people can count on you. They know you're going to show up. They know that you bring an enthusiasm to the work that makes everybody better. Energized effort is powerful, as is committed engagement. Because committed engagement, it converts passive participants into purpose-driven partners. Right? In other words, this is the difference between people who are working for the job or they're working for the joy. That one letter pivots everything, right? People who are working for the job, well, they're just going through tasks, and they tend to get burned out, and they tend to, just kind of check the box. They're doing the minimum. And that's not how we deliver excellence. And most of us, we proclaim excellence in a lot of our promises to our families and to our educators, but that happens when we bring that energy and we're committed. Engagement is such a vital part of schools that deliver excellence and deliver the best for their students to enable them to become all that they were created to be, right? There's also this third element, this third accelerator, which is divine wisdom. It's a wisdom that you have to pursue. It's a wisdom that nobody's born with. You got to go get it. You have to, you know, invest the time to be around other wise people and to study and to listen and to learn, right? Not just facts and figures, not just knowledge, but wisdom. And distinctive educators, particularly as we move into a significantly different era of education, wisdom will be particularly valuable. And those three accelerators, energized effort, committed engagement, divine wisdom, that's what moves talent, right? That's what differentiates the best from the almost, right? That's what turns potential into promise. So, do you see a person skilled in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before obscure people. This is a proverb. It's Proverbs 22:29. And this is really saying, hey, the person who practices their craft, they bring that energy, they are engaged, and they have a wisdom that comes with it. They are able to perform their gifting before powerful people. They make a difference. People want to have them in their presence because they make such an impact. And that's what our encouragement for you this week is. Hey, don't let the magic in your boots get wasted in defiance, in distraction, or even disinterest. Don't go there, right? Bring those accelerators because talent arrives as a gift, right? It's a gift, but attitude, skills, and habits, that's how those gifts get honed. They get honed by those daily decisions. Excellence isn't the result of goals. It's the result of habits. Right? So the best way to do our best is to love what we do and the people that we do it with. Did you catch that? The best way to do our best is to love what we do and the people that we do it with. Right? When we commit to mastery through discipline, right? Through that discipline practice by honing those skills, when that passion, that energy, that love for the work, and that focused effort, man, we set a new standard for what's possible. That's what excellence is, right? Excellence is meeting standards. That's where sometimes schools and school leaders get confused. Accreditation isn't excellence. Accreditation is meeting standards. Excellence is setting new standards of what's possible, right? That's a different level. It's elevating our influence and demonstrating excellence. We get to model that, and that's our calling. So love what you do. Love what you do and the people you do it with this week, my friend, to grow as a skillful master of your craft, right? Because we get to practice that. No educator shows up with all the tools. We have to learn that. We have to gain that wisdom. That we have to hone those skills, that talent. Lots of people have talent. There are few, though. There are few who commit themselves to the work, but they do it. The best do it out of a love, right? They love people. They love the work. They even embrace the hard work. They embrace the conflict because we know that working in schools and the conflict is inevitable, right? But we persevere through it because the only way through it is through it. Right? So thank you for your commitment to that, for being there for your people, for delivering on your promises, because you've got magic in your boots. Hey, a coaching question to ask yourself at the end of each day: did I do my best to love what I do today and the people that I do it with? Right? Did I do my best to love what I do today and the people that I do it with? Love them and lead them, my friend. This is Scott.
Thank you for joining us for the Educators Among Us podcast and for your courageous commitment to this noble calling. We get you and the challenges of this work. To stay connected with this community, be sure to subscribe to our podcast and weekly encouragement at educatorsamongus.com.